Hi, today I want to talk about how your personality and your presence affects people, and to ask yourself if you think you may be an activator, is the term I'm going to use. Activator meaning that people, their emotions open up when they're around you. They like to tell you their pain, their trauma, things that they're going through, and you are literally a stranger to them. So oftentimes, if I'm out in public or work or anywhere, and I'm settled in somewhere, I just know it's only a matter of time before someone is going to either sit next to me or start talking to me, or, you know, navigate towards me for whatever the reason, and they will start to tell me their life story, even though I don't know who they are, or their main trauma. And I will hear a million times, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. And this has been going on for me since I was in my 20s. And I really firmly believe that it's because I didn't understand at the time that I am an activator for people. So my presence is helping that person, their heart chakra to open, and for them to be present and vulnerable and capable of crying and capable of sharing. They feel safe and comfortable, and they just want to share their story. And I did not understand this about myself for a really long time. So if you can identify with this, being a person that everyone goes to, even strangers, to tell their life story or their trauma, you are activating that person. And basically, their chakras are opening and they're releasing and they're healing. And it's because of you that those layers of the onion is getting peeled away, and they can take away some of that stress and pain because of your presence. But also something that happens to me, 3 things, that's one of them. I am an activator. I do help people to heal, even if I'm not technically doing my energy healing, just people being in my presence, that is happening. But also another thing is people will show me love and affection and joy, and they just want to hug me or be around me in some way, or just constantly showing gratitude. And it's because I am a mirror and I am reflecting to you who you are. So if you're emanating love and joy and happiness, and you are just somebody that always wants to hug people, and you're emanating love, you are basically, I'm showing you a mirror of yourself. So that's why you are looking at me and projecting that love and admiration, but you're really projecting it to yourself. That's who you are. So that's why we are mirroring each other. And the third thing that happens to me often is the polar opposite, where someone gets in my presence and they cannot stand me. And I mean, every cell in their body is standing on end with sheer hatred, and they don't even really understand why. And I have come to find that it's just who I am. I always joke and I say I'm like Daddy Saturn, even though I'm a female, because I'm a Capricorn. We're the father of the zodiac, and I'm extremely empathic, highly intuitive, have been doing energy healing work for a really long time. So I understand that when I'm in the presence of someone who is at their core, no matter what the outside of them look like, they could be the most beautiful person, the most successful person, they could have it all together, but the core of who they are on the inside, if they are unhealed and filled with rage and anger and hatred, and just someone who very spiteful, narcissistic, when they are in my presence, The hatred is extreme. They will lash out. They will say horrific things to me. They will like constantly criticize or pick on me or something of that nature because I trigger them, and they know that in my presence, I can see to the core of who they are. So they can project who they pretend to be to society, and the masses will, I hate to say fall for that, but it is the truth. They'll fall for it. But when you come in contact with someone who is extremely highly spiritual, highly intuitive, I could see right to the core of who you are, and you can't hide. And again, I'm that mirror reflecting to you who you are. So you're raging at me, you hate me, there's anger, there's bitterness, there's criticizing, there's just awful, awful things projected because I am a mirror. I am you. And that's what you're projecting to me because at your core, that's who you are. But they can also sense at a deep level that I am also sensing this in them. And they can't do what they would do to the masses. So whether that be a work environment, you know, a toxic, narcissistic boss who knows how to like kind of play the fiddle with people. They kind of know how to get the ones that really are like, pick me, I want to do all the work. I want to, you know, really take charge and do everything here. And so you don't have to lift a finger. You know, they kind of pick out people that they know that they can manipulate and get them to do all the work and get them to do basically anything they want. And they know instinctively that that person doesn't see who they are to their core, and they're truly fooled by what they're doing, and they'll continue to basically do everything the narcissist wants them to do, not realizing that they're being manipulated and overlooked and being taken advantage of. But when you come in contact with someone like myself, they know they can't get away with that because it's going to not take me very long to realize who they are to their core. They can sense that, and then they want nothing to do with my presence because they cannot manipulate and play games, etc., etc. So if this sounds familiar in your life and you are coming across people who want to tell you their life story and they feel safe and comfortable in your presence, you are an activator. You are helping people to heal. If you are someone that everybody is always, you're, you know, loving, attracting positivity and joy, that's who you are at your core. That's who they are at their core. So you'll continue to call in your, I call them the high vibe tribe, you know, your soul tribe, wonderful friends and family who want to support you and uplift you because they are mirroring, you're both mirroring each other, love. And that's also very high vibrational and high and very healing. But also the back end of it too is, it's not all love and light and rainbows. You will attract the people that are extremely unhealed, and they are extremely narcissistic, and they want what you have because they don't have that. And what that is your genuine authenticity, your empathy, your ability to love people, your ability to heal, to have compassion, to have understanding. They don't have that in them. And you're like the bug that lights up in the night when you're a child and they want to put it in the jar and just close the lid on the jar and you suffocate. And ultimately your light goes out in that jar because they want to keep you. That's basically why a narcissist targets light workers, any type of healer, any type of person that is very highly intuitive and compassionate. They want what they don't have. So the minute you realize that you are dealing with the person who is slowly doing the switch up and the mask falls off and the criticizing starts and the belittling, the degrading, things don't add up, you want to realize quickly to get out of that situation and to start doing your research on narcissistic behavior, and just be very mindful that narcissists, it's not only relationship, but it's also your work environment. There's bosses out there that act this way and take advantage and, are soul sucking and very oppressive. And you can lose precious years of your life being a slave to them, and they will take and take and take with no remorse. And you will get little crumbs here and there, couple of months that are good, and then here comes the roller coaster ride, and you're going back down the hill, and you just can't do enough, say enough, you can't be enough. I tell people all the time, especially, big topic when people come to me is always relationships. I say to people, we're all unique in our own way, and it shouldn't be complicated. If you're coming to me looking for advice, I'm going to say to you, as Daddy Saturn, that if there is charging in, love bombing, and then that dime changes, they change on a dime, and all of a sudden now, you're not as beautiful as they initially thought you were, and they don't like your personality, and they don't like the way, you're in a relationship, and they don't like that you're a mother, and they don't like anything about you or your home or your family or your friends, or you just can't blink or breathe, and they have a problem. There's no fixing that. I tell people all the time, you cannot fix somebody who is narcissistic and extremely irrational. They will have you so worked up that by the time they're done chewing you up and spitting you out, you literally have very little left in you, to the point where you almost don't even want to live. It's that bad. So I always tell people, don't fall for potential. Don't continue a relationship with people who are going to be putting you down, and roller coaster ride and hot and cold communication. Usually, and we are all a work in progress. Nobody is always fully healed and in full alignment. We're always a work in progress. But in general, someone is going to come forward, and they're going to be consistent, and they're going to want to talk to you every day, and they're going to want to make plans to see you, and it's just going to be, cohesive and synchronistic, and your heart isn't beating out of your chest because it's a roller coaster ride and hot and cold. It's just going to be safe and feel like home and secure and no confusion. And you have to stay in something long enough to really get a full picture of how this person is. Are they going to be, how are they when they're angry? How are they a generous person? Financially, are they loving, nurturing? Because at first, when you're dealing with the narcissist, they're portraying all of this at a high, perfect level. And then you quickly realize the horror as the mask starts to fall off, and you're seeing them be horrible to other people and then horrible to you. And in the end of everything, they want it all back. So even though they treated you in a horrific manner, in the end, when you finally get the courage to leave, the narcissist wants it all back. They want all the gifts, they want anything they invested, they want it back and then some. They don't care if you're penniless, they don't care if your child is going to be okay, they don't care if you're okay. Just extreme, cold, horrific thing to go through. So my wish for everyone is always that we find our destined divine partner, someone who is working on ascension, working on healing, that isn't perfect, but is wanting to have a loving, committed relationship and isn't out there hitting the like on everybody's Facebook and social media and talking to several different people, and you're just constantly feeling like just triggered and not good enough, etc. That we all find our divine masculine or feminine, and that we can move forward in peace and joy and love. So I wish everyone a wonderful evening. Talk to you soon.